What's the consensus on this, Isabel?
Right. Well, I mean, Prime Minister Abe has a good opportunity to talk about what he's achieved so far, because he's hosting today and tomorrow the World Assembly for Women, and he's gathering about 1,500 people from everywhere in the world to talk about women's issues. And he does have some progress to report, it's true. For example, we're expecting within about the next hour Parliament to pass a bill that would require employers to have a plan for the promotion of women. And also we've seen in the bureaucracy that more than a third of those who were recruited this year to the elite track were actually women. But on the other hand, we've seen very little done to help women to get into Parliament. So that's why we're seeing that Japan still lags places like Saudi Arabia and Bangladesh in terms of world rankings on representation of women in Parliament.
Yeah, it's incredible, these rankings. Out of 190 countries, Japan ranks 117th here. I mean, it matters, doesn't it, for Japan? And why so?
Yes, for Japan in particular it matters. And for Prime Minister Abe, this is not a question of feminism. This is not about fairness. This is about the economy. Japan has this serious demographic issue in that it's got a very rapidly aging population. It has very few children being born. And Japanese leaders are reluctant to tackle immigration for all sorts of reasons. So they're not allowing very much of that. That means their single untapped resource for the labour market is women. We have less than 2/3 of women in the workplace at the moment, as opposed to 80% of men. So that's something that he can look at as a way of preventing this huge decrease in the labour force that we could otherwise see. So that's why he's trying to get, as an example to other women, he's trying to get women into 30% of management positions by 2020. And he's really, backed up this target.
Okay, but, saying it is one thing, doing it and seeing it actually come to fruition is another. Are we seeing any changes in Parliament?
Right. Well, there are some slight signs of change in that we have this cross-party group now which is putting together bills that would set at least guidelines for bringing more candidates into political parties, more women candidates, that is. They're hoping to submit that bill to Parliament and get it passed in the next session, which could be by the end of this year. And the people who are behind that bill point out that this progress has been extremely slow in Parliament, much slower than in many other areas. Obviously, if you're trying to get women into leadership positions, Parliament would seem to be the obvious place. And they say that the reason why Japan is facing these demographic issues is partly because women don't have a voice in these decision-making areas, and so they don't have an influence over society and over the issues that are preventing women from having more children.